Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, The Property Shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Johnny G. What's up, my man?
Hey, it's another weekend in the Capital Region.
Another weekend.
We're waiting for the rain to end.
We're getting there. It's going to clear up. It's going to be a nice day.
Is there an end to this rain? Doesn't feel like it.
I don't know. Matt Stonecifer, Ace Home Inspection.
Yeah.
On again. Got a great show for you guys. Yeah, the rain is it's killing us. I just put a pork shoulder on the smoker before I left. We got our party.
So we're all going to John's house.
Coming to my house.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say,
party.
right.
So if you guys want to come to a party today,
we'll be right there.
Rosemont Street block party. We do it every year. Rosemont Street in Albany. We block off the dead end side of the street on the Westland Hill side, and we're going to have a nice little party this afternoon. So there's going to be lots of food, lots of beverage. So if anybody feels like stopping down, having a pulled pork sandwich, come see us. So anyway, nice. Yeah. So listen, we got an interesting show with Matt today. We're going to focus on water systems in particular. I mean, because there's so many different water systems in a home. But today, I thought the focus would make sense because Matt actually has an additional business, right? Matt, tell us about the side business.
Yep. So we have a whole nother company called MG Septic that concentrates on septic repairs, installs. We also do water filtration and water treatment for well systems.
Right. So focus today is septic and well. We're going to talk about the septic side of the equation on the first half of the show. Second half of the show, we're going to get into wells. Call-in show, guys. Listen, give us a ring. I mean, tell us a story about your well and septic. Come ask us some questions. You got Matt here for half an hour. And, pick this guy's brain. 476-5900, 476-5900. Johnny G's on the switchboard. He will take your call and patch you in through us. And just so you guys know, I wanted to, go over why we're here. This is a lot of work. The show is, 2 to 3 extra hours a week in my work week. Me and Matt, huddle on this stuff. We try to bring you guys a good show. And the reason we're doing this is we want to bring you the most up-to-date real estate market conditions, tips, strategies, information on well and septics. I mean, you name it. We want to bring that information to you. So when you guys are thinking about buying or selling the place that you call home, you're thinking about us, right? That's what I've been doing for about 20 years now. You'll more than likely hear me through the show throw mention that, hey, I'm not bragging. I'm just applying for the job of selling your home. With that being said, we're going to take a sponsor break and get right into wells and septic.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
It's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at the Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. I love that one. JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecifer, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the Capital Region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, guys, we're back. We're sitting here with the $6 million man, Johnny Gabriel.
Yeah, right.
And Matt Stonecifer from Ace Home Inspections. Hey, guys, again, letting you guys know, call-in show, 476-5900. Get your questions ready. We got Matt over here from Ace Home Inspection. Matt and Sarah, his wife, own Ace Home Inspections. Been doing this now for, 10 years?
Me personally, I'm at 5, but
5
Ace
years.
has been around since 08.
Okay, so let's round it up to 10. Veteran owned. We thank Matt for his service, and we got him in here today because he has a side business where he does excavating and not so much wells, but septic repair, removal, installation. So we wanted to focus on the water system because there's such a huge component of the house, and we want to kind of drill down today. No pun intended, but with the wells and septic, and again, like these things can fail pretty easily, and I'm telling you from having sold gobs of homes that the septic can be such a touchy subject. So, recently we had an incident where a buyer for one of our listings, they hired an inspector. Wasn't Matt, obviously, and the inspector came in. This is on one of our listings, and they broke the sewer cap, right? Which isn't a big deal. I mean, it's, you're talking like $50, it happens. But decided that he wanted to open up the distribution box. He took a camera and snaked the leach field. I mean, basically, he dug up the backyard. Basically, you're not supposed to do that. I mean, Matt, tell us kind of it's a crazy story. Yeah. What did he do wrong?
Well, I mean, I do like that he uses a scope. Scope is the biggest thing.
Correct. And never, and might I add that never like cleaned up the mess, just basically left it.
That's the issue right there.
Right.
It's about the follow through. If you break something, fix it. If you make a mess, clean it up. That's simple. But they were in the right direction. They were using scopes. They're looking at the inside of lines. Okay. That's your biggest issue. You can look inside of a tank and go, tank's good, tank's bad, but we really want to see the lines, the leach field, the D-box, all those critical components because, septic tank can be expensive. Mm-hmm. Leach field is way more expensive.
Way more expensive. Okay. Before you even have to do all that stuff, there's got to be some telltale signs, without having to get crazy with it. What's like some of the red flags right away in the house?
For sure.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is it's like any component in the house, maintenance. The biggest red flag to us is we pull up, we say, hey, where's your septic tank? And someone goes, I don't know, 10, 15 years I've never opened it.
Oh, boy.
Big red flag. So you want to get those maintenance, get them serviced. You should have somebody coming out every 2-3 years. Depends on the size of the tank and how many people in the house. I think an ounce of prevention is worth gold. So, come in a little bit more aggressively. I pump mine every 1 to 2 years. So that's the first big red flag. Second's going to be knowing which direction the water goes after the tank, whether you have a leach field or a dry well. Mm-hmm. And if those areas start to get wet, start to get kind of sludgy, you see some like black on the soil or any smells in those areas, those are all telltale signs that water is not going down into the ground. It's coming up to the surface.
Okay.
The other thing is going to be noticing any drainage issues in your house. Your toilets are gurgling, your drains maybe seem a little bit slower. These are all evidences that you could have in a backup. You're having some sort of restriction of flow. So all those things are stuff that you can notice and pay attention to on a day-to-day. But really the biggest thing is getting that maintenance, having somebody open and pump that tank out periodically because they're also going to, or they're supposed to be looking at that tank and making sure there's no telltale signs that you're seeing the early signs of a problem. Sometimes if you catch it early, you can fix it before you have to replace it.
So on the average, Matt, how often should a homeowner check the septic tank?
I say you should pump
and what's
every
the record
3 years
longest?
or so.
Yeah.
I had one that they told us they hadn't opened that septic tank since their kids clogged it up back in 1987, and they hadn't opened the tank since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an interesting one.
And what was the health of the tank at that?
I needed a septic system.
It did. Okay.
Yeah, it needed a system.
What was your question, John? I cut you off.
How often on the average should a homeowner check their septic system?
So it varies by so many things, but what we recommend right off the rip, go every 2 to 3 years. That guy that's pumping it will tell you, all right, you're right on par. Yeah. You should do it a little bit sooner, or you can extend it out a little bit more. It comes down to how you use the house.
That's good to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, when it comes to testing, is there, I've heard people put dye in the system to try, how do you guys figure out some of this stuff?
So us personally, we run a camera from the house to the tank, looking at the line between the two. We open that tank up. We're going to look inside the tank, look for cracks, damage, make sure there's baffles, make sure it's not deteriorated, look at the levels in the tank to make sure it's working.
Okay.
And then we're going to run a camera out to your leach field from the tank, leach field, dry well, whatever you may have. And then we're going to load test it while we're doing that. We're going to want to water into it, and we're going to watch its absorption rate. And then we're going to go and we're going to walk that leaching area and make sure there's no low areas, wet areas, make sure the ground is stable. There is dye out there. Dye will tell you if it discharges incorrectly. So, I've had a couple that, leave the septic tank and dump into a body of water. Septic dye will turn that body of water green.
Okay.
But if it's clogged or it's not draining at all, septic dye is not going to tell you a thing.
Okay. Got it.
It's a tool. It's not a whole answer.
Okay. What, now, let's say system fails, right? We got replacement parts or possibly having to dig up the old.
Do you want to go worst case scenario? Your leach field's not working?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's talk worst case.
Worst case scenario, which is what nobody wants to hear for sure, is if you need a full system or you need a leach field. Worst case scenario. So there's a couple of steps you have to go through. Most areas around here, you're going to want to go straight to engineering. Okay. There's a cost right up front. So you got to go to engineering. They'll deal with the county department of health and the building department, and they'll design a system that works for that soil type and the property. And then at that point, we can get you an accurate answer as to what it's going to cost to replace that system. If you're in a failure, know that it's expensive. We're not talking $5,000. We're talking $35,000 plus likely.
Wow.
It's a big number. A lot of that's just the cost of trucks, the cost of fuel.
Yeah.
If you got to bring in dirt's expensive. You wouldn't think it, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
So there is a big cost there. So engineering is key because you want to know exactly what that system needs. There's a variance. You could be $18,000, you could be $50,000. We don't know that answer really until we get accurate engineering performed.
So the bottom line is, do not ignore your septic system.
No. It does not get better with time.
No. And those costs are based on maybe just an average lot and home. You're not talking about something that's on a lake or something that's in, more challenge, right?
And that's where the engineering comes so into play. I mean, people that, we can kind of give you some general ideas from experience as to what we think that system will need.
Okay.
But, lake areas have weird restrictions. Galway Lake area, for example, there is a whole level of restriction in Galway Lake area where specific systems are required.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think the biggest way to prevent all this is using our certified pre-owned home system, right?
Sure.
No one, being ahead of this stuff is A, going to save you money. B, it's going to save you the aggravation of getting your house under contract, getting ready, packing all your stuff up, getting ready to move, and then figuring out you're looking at $30,000 for a new system, right? Right.
And John, too, if you set that expectation with a buyer, if a buyer finds out an issue after the fact, they may run. If that buyer knows that issue going into it, they may accept it. And, they like knowing their expectations. Everybody likes to have known expectations going into something.
It is so much easier for us to go in and say, okay, look, guys, we know the septic system's bad. Matt's provided us an estimate of, $30,000, whatever, $25,000, whatever it is. Let's just take it off the price. Let's disclose it. Let's let these people know that, hey, we've factored that in now up front. You're going to know about it. You're going to know about everything else outside of the septic system too, because we're going to do a full inspection. And then let's have an easier, hassle-free sale that way than getting under contract and then
the other advantage you could have
deals
with
in the
doing it
crapper
ahead
at
of
that
time.
point. No pun intended.
If we see drainage issues, if you're not using a scope, you go, it's not draining. They may deem it a failed leach field where it may need a $1,500 line replaced.
Right, and that goes back to the story we were telling you in the beginning. It's like this guy did the inspection, failed, and said, "Well, I don't really know why it failed, but it failed." And so now, I mean, it's water under the bridge. But
now you're bringing somebody in that's going to dig up and basically do it all again.
Yeah. So and then you got to chase down septic guys, and and they're just like you are.
I know a great one that answers the phone every time.
Right. Exactly. But even you're still a week or two out
Oh, if you needed a full system right now, we're already booking into next year.
I'm just saying if somebody had you come out and look at the system.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right? You're a couple weeks out.
Yeah, if you call me and you're like, I need a diagnosis and it involves excavation, I can get there in the next couple weeks.
Now you're in trouble. Now you're under contract.
Yep.
You got to wait 2 more weeks. The deal could fall apart, and these are all the pitfalls I'm telling you guys about. Listen, we're going to take a break. Water systems are huge, and we're going to talk about wells after the break. We got Matt here. We're going to talk about some missteps with wells right here on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Real Estate News and Talk Show with me, Johnny B, Matt, and Johnny G.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guarantee radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned into the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio talk show. I got my ace in the hole, Matt Stonecifer from Ace Home Inspection, right here out of Albany. We promised you guys that Matt would cover more on critical well inspection pitfalls and really what you can do. We talked about maintenance of septic. Now it's time to talk about the well. So if you guys got some questions, if you got some stories about wells, we'd love to hear about them. 476-5900. This is what we do. We talk about this stuff and we give you guys as much information as we can. I mean, wells are funny. I was just telling Matt, I'm like, I grew up on a well. I grew up on well water. It wasn't stinky egg water. It was good water. And the well performed, it's performed well. But I don't really know how they work. Like, I know I've heard stories of guys walking around with sticks and, they use like a branch of the tree to find.
Where's the water?
And then poof, like they start digging and you got water. I mean, there's got to be more to that. It's like, so tell us about some.
Yeah, how do you find it? Yeah,
right.
So finding it is actually dowsing is still largely used by a lot of old school companies.
What's it called?
Dowsing.
Yeah.
Okay. We had our house doused when we built it. But with wells, so really what we're looking for is there is aquifers naturally, basically underground water sources, lakes, rivers, basically way under the ground. And we're looking to tap into those aquifers, and that's with a modern drilled well. So if you went and got a well today, everything's going to be drilled and sleeved because you want to get below that surface water.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of houses around here that you go, old farmhouses that have dug wells. You're basically just collecting surface water in a dug well. You're not likely digging into an aquifer. Mm-hmm. And then like Clifton Park and a lot of those areas, they're still running off what's called a driven point well, which is basically a shallow point that's just driven into the ground. Mm-hmm. There's no wellhead. They don't bore down. They just hammer this thing down into the ground until they get enough water. Now, the key difference between those is driven point in shallow wells, dug wells, susceptible to outward influence. So bacteria, things of that nature. If you have heavy storms come in, they can affect your water quality because you're basically drinking surface water.
Right.
So those are a little bit more susceptible to outward influence than like a drilled well, which may be, my well's almost 500 feet down.
Wow.
It'd be really hard to affect that aquifer.
Yeah. That's some good, fresh, clean earth water right there.
It's cold.
Now, it's cold. So, but I mean, we've had some doozies. I mean, one of my agents, Joe Malone, he's I call him the master of dirty pond water because he has put deals under contract where literally people, were drinking out of a pond and that was their water source, which is amazing. And then, you had sheep grazing next to the pond. I mean, the bacteria levels were off the charts.
Yeah.
But it's crazy what goes on out there and what people think is a safe water source.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
What about you? What have you seen?
I mean, we've seen massive failures, bacteria, E. coli. We've had a couple where like cesspools are too close to a water source and it's full of E. coli.
Yep.
And the hard thing is that if you live in that house and that slowly became a problem, your biome is going to be used to it. So it's not going to cause an issue until you buy that house and move in. Well, now you're not used to the contamination of that water and you could get sick. So you can't just go off of the current homeowner being like, oh, I've never had an issue with the water. Well, your gut may be used to what you're drinking.
Right. I love Albany City Water at this point. After hearing all
even
this,
city water, they recommend testing. We still have a lot of lead
do.
lines.
Yep.
There's still bacteria in those systems.
Yeah.
We actually recommend testing even city water. We've had lead failures.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, because of the Northeast dated housing stock, and it's par for the course. So tell us, for some of these obvious but maybe not so obvious reasons, why is testing the well so important and one of the major systems that
Absolutely. So there's two real key components we do in well testing. The first is going to be the flow. So on most mortgages, it's going to state if you're on a well, you need to have 3 gallons per minute minimum for 60 minutes. So we're going to flow it. We like to see 4 or 5, but as long as it hits 3, you'll meet that requirement for getting your mortgage. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
We've had a lot of wells lately that we get 35, 40 minutes in, that well goes flat. Not going to suffice for your mortgage. Where maybe one person's living in that house and they only use 50 gallons of water at a time, they'll get by with it. But, we got to see a certain amount of water.
Okay.
The next thing is quality. So at the bare minimum, we recommend testing for bacteria. But the sky's the limit on testing. You can do nitrates, lead, radon in water. We actually have, I think, 35 different tests that we can option depending on what you want to test for. But we always really, really would love, if you're on a well, that you do a bacteria test.
Gotcha. Okay. That's crazy. It sounds... I never even thought about radon in water, but how...
it's not really an issue up here. It's more of an issue a little bit farther south in like Jersey, Pennsylvania. But we have the option in case people want to test for it.
Oh, we got a phone call.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We got Deborah.
From
Deborah, how you
Millbrook,
doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry to interrupt you talking about wells. I found that very interesting. But I want to go back to septics if I could.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling, Deborah. What's your question?
Okay, I'm down in Dutchess County, and I live in a home which we've built, and we're in here now 37 and a half years.
God bless.
We've never had the septic pumped. We have gravel soil here. 2 people live in the house. At one point, we had 3. Now, I'm getting scared after hearing what you're saying, that every 2 to 3 years, you should have it pumped.
So the easy answer there is you may still be okay.
Right.
So in a perfect world, if we don't use a lot of conditioners, a lot of chemicals down our drain and things like that, you could theoretically get away with never pumping a septic tank. Just unfortunately, real life tends to get in the way. It sounds like maybe you're being very fortunate in the fact that your system may be very healthy. There is bacteria in a tank that breaks stuff down naturally. Now, it would be beneficial to maybe look into getting it pumped and serviced. It's usually only a couple $100 to get a service on a system. They'll come out and pump it and look at it. Even if that system is keeping up and you don't have a drainage issue, at that point in its lifespan, it would be good to get a sense as to what the condition is and what the life expectancy is going forward. So that way, if they say, hey, it's starting to wear out, you can start to plan for the future.
Yeah, the other thing is, too, we were talking about this during the break, is our home, our family home, we built that house in 78. Same thing. We didn't look under the hood, I guess, so to speak, on the septic until maybe 3-4 years ago, and everything was fine. And I think it has to do with, you built the house, you've lived there. The house hasn't changed hands 3 times. You don't know what was going on in there beforehand. So I would say chances are you're probably in good shape.
You're probably in very good shape. But I would, maybe in the not so distant future, maybe consider having it serviced just so you can kind of get a good warm and fuzzy as to the condition it is and see if there's anything you need to plan for in the future.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, when we built the house, we should have taken pictures where the septic tank was. We know where the septic tank is, but I don't know where the pipe is, where you put the thing to, take
the tank is
out.
actually where we need to know. So they actually will pump from the tank itself. There's access lids on the tank. So as long as you know where the tank specifically is, that's actually what they need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, but then they use a tool or something to find where the fill line is.
So usually we use a probe to locate the tank. And once we figure out where the tank is, we typically know where the lids are just from common septic tanks.
Okay.
And either the septic pumping company dig or you can dig. Either way.
Okay, very good.
Deb.
Well, thank you very much. This is the first time I'm listening to your program. I normally listen to the Herzog Law program. I don't really listen to you, but
Well, you
got to
tell your friends.
Tell your friends. And
We'll do.
We're glad you tuned in.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks, Deb.
Deborah.
Thank you.
All right, guys,
Okay.
we're gonna go on a quick break here from our sponsors and wrap the show up.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecifer, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the capital region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at salernolawny.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, guys, we're getting towards the end of the show here. Unfortunately, had Ace, Matt from Ace over here. I mean, kick butt show on Wells and Septic, and Johnny brought up a good point. This one really struck home. No pun intended.
Yeah, sure. I mean, many people have wells and septic systems, and what do you do if you have a problem, or what do you do if you don't?
It's not something you see every day.
You're
not looking at it.
It gets forgotten about.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It's not like you walk around the inside of your house and you got walls and basements and roofs and that was more common. But hey, listen, if you guys are looking to either trade up or trade down in your house, looking for the right investment, reach out to us, 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Ask about our VIP homeowner service. Ask about our certified pre-owned program so you guys can dodge these mishaps. So when you do go to sell your home, you know in advance, hey, my septic's been cleaned out. It's got passing with flying colors, and we're not going to have any issues with my well or septic. And you guys can get on our in-house newsletter where we offer strategies on how to invest in real estate, featured investment properties, and our Market Watch newsletter where you guys can keep in touch with the real estate market in upstate New York. So, and also don't forget, your real estate referrals help the community. We're on a mission to raise $50,000 for Make-A-Wish Northeast New York, Capital Region's Veteran Legacy Project, and the Animal Protective Foundation. We actually donate a portion of every one of our commission sales to these foundations, and you guys can too by referring a friend, family member, colleague, whoever, one of the other radio jockeys in the studio here. And so your referrals help the kids. Want to thank Matt again. Matt, how can people get in touch with you?
So you give us a call at 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com. And think of us, even if you just want to know the condition of your house, you're not looking to buy or sell.
Right.
We can do it just to kind of give you an update and a health check on your home.
You got it. So listen, don't miss out. Next week's show, we got a surprise guest coming up. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Right here on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Talk Show with me, Johnny B. Have a great day.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.